When it comes to wealth and privilege, few places in the world would compare to Saudi Arabia. After all, they have owned the liquid gold. From Saudi Arabian princes down to ordinary citizens, everyone has been reaping the benefits of the oil industry. Or so we thought. In this video, we will delve into the lavish lifestyle of Saudi Arabia's ultra-rich, their royal family, and the infamous detention of billionaires in 2017. Well, let's get going. Welcome to the luxurious lifestyle of trillionaires, where we uncover the secrets of the world's wealthiest and their lavish lifestyles. The country's affluent have made headlines time and time again for their lavish spending habits in the Middle East. The nation's billionaires are reported to have a strong preference for works of art. In 2017, Leonardo da Vinci's Salvatore Mundi was auctioned off at Christie's in New York. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman paid an all-time high of $450 million for it. The exhibition was scheduled to open at the Louvre in Paris in 2018, but it was abruptly cancelled. Instead, the painting was reportedly moved on board bin Salman's private yacht, the 𝐟𝐸𝐫. This brings us to another interest of the ultra-wealthy, which is sailing, and the billionaires in Saudi Arabia are no exception. In 2011, the 𝐟𝐸𝐫 was delivered to Russian vodka tycoon Yuri Shefler, after reportedly spending $330 million on it. The 439-foot-long 𝐟𝐸𝐫 was a record breaker among luxury yachts at that time. At one point, another billionaire, Bill Gates, chartered the ship for $5 million a week. After falling in love with the ship in 2015, bin Salman dropped over $550 million on it. But the wealthy of Saudi Arabia's go-to status symbol was a collection of flashy automobiles. Particularly, Turki bin Abdullah, a younger member of the Saudi royal family, has begun amassing a fleet of gold automobiles. They've used the expensive material to plate all of the luxury cars. A gold Mercedes, Jeep, Lamborghini Aventador, Rolls-Royce, and Bentley Flying Spur were among his 2017 automobile collections. In 2017, the base model Lamborghini Aventador could be purchased for up to $535,000. It's anticipated that only his base vehicles will set you back over $2 million. While discussing the biggest spenders and wealthiest people in Saudi Arabia, it is impossible to ignore the members of the royal family. Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, commonly referred to as Salman of Saudi Arabia, is the current monarch. Mohammed bin is the crown prince, the second highest position in the country. The Assad family, who officially go by the title House of Assad, are estimated to be worth a total of $1.4 trillion as of 2018. It's worth noting that the British royal family had a collective net worth of $88 billion in the same year. Outside of the royal family, Mohammed bin Isa Al Jaber is one of the richest people in the Middle East. He started the FBI company and runs it as CEO. Its portfolio of companies includes 𝐬𝐵 Hotels and Resorts, an operator of opulent and affordable lodgings in Europe and Africa. He is estimated to be worth $9 billion at the time of this upload. Mohammed Hussein Al Amoudi is another billionaire in Saudi Arabia. Though he was born in Ethiopia, he made his initial money working on building projects in Saudi Arabia. Later, he bought oil refineries in several nations, including Sweden and Morocco. Not only that, the gold industry, agriculture, food production, and more are all areas in which Al Amoudi is active. This has boosted his fortune to an estimated $8.3 billion at the time of this upload. But why do we not see these Saudi Arabian billionaires on the Forbes list since 2018? This is because Forbes decided to no longer showcase Saudi Arabian residents on their richest list due to the incident called the Saudi Arabian Purge. It began in 2017 and concluded in 2019. They rounded together a bunch of princes, CEOs, and ministers that allegedly took part in corruption. This was made possible by the anti-corruption group that was formed a week before the arrest. Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince, oversaw the operation wherein more than 2,000 bank accounts were frozen and private jets were grounded. all to prevent people from fleeing the country. At this time, over 500 people were arrested. Before being utilized to keep the detainees, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Riyadh, the country's capital, was cleared of its regular guests. Many of the detainees described being treated harshly by police during their arrest. The Saudi government report estimated that $800 billion was misappropriated due to graft. Settlements with the detainees resulted in the return of $106 billion. The former chief of the National Guard up until 2017, Prince Mutayib bin Abdullah, was reportedly released after paying a settlement of more than $1 billion. Prince Al-Walid bin Talal, a well-known billionaire investor who has been compared to Warren Buffett, was also arrested. While he was a member of the royal family, his opinions often differed from those of his fellow royals. For instance, advocating for years in advance of the implementation that women be allowed to drive in the country. The market capitalization of one of his enterprises, Kingdom Holding Company, is $39 billion. Bin Talal declared his willingness to give up his whole fortune to charity in 2015. This was estimated to be $32 billion at that time. Bin Talal was finally released from prison in January 2018. The Wall Street Journal said a month ago that it would cost at least $6 billion to free the millionaire. Whether or if this sum was paid in the settlement is unknown. The wealth of Bin Talal, according to Forbes, was $18 billion at the time of his imprisonment. Another aftermath of the Saudi Arabian Purge was the postponement of the Jeddah Tower construction. It was planned to reach the height of at least 1,000 meters and therefore to become the tallest structure in the world. However, only a third of the tower's initial planned cost of $1.23 billion have been spent so far. Like any country in the world, it is not only blitz and glamour in Saudi Arabia, especially not for a typical person. This is remarkable given that the country's natural resources are worth an estimated $34.4 trillion. The government of Saudi Arabia said in 2013, the poverty line for its citizens was less than $530 per month. 2 to 4 million people, according to the estimates made at the time, were earning less than this. Without access to official data, non-governmental organizations have resorted to developing informed guesses about Saudi Arabia's population. As recently as 1 year ago, the country's oil industry brought in over $300 billion in revenue. When the unemployment rate hit 15.4% as a result of recent world events, the number of people living in poverty rose. Nonetheless, efforts have been made by the government to curb this issue. During his reign in 2012, King Abdullah bin Abdulaziz Al Saud pledged to put funds into several programs to reduce the country's expanding income inequality. He mentioned spending plans totaling $3.7 billion on projects like housing, pay increases, and unemployment assistance. The population was also expected to populate a large number of planned economic cities. From towering skyscrapers to sprawling palaces, the billionaires of Saudi Arabia have created some of the most impressive and opulent displays of wealth in the world. But under the facade are issues that citizens are experiencing. We hope that these issues will be raised and taken care of. We hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the world of Saudi Arabian billionaires. Join us next time as we continue to explore the lives and legacies of the world's most successful and influential individuals.